Blue Turner, everybody. Hope you're well. You got him, you lucky devil. This is Snowman and Fred's in there somewhere, trucking. No rain for them to worry about as per usual. We're going to talk about our chance of rain. It's Thursday. We got Storm Prediction Center giving us some issues with slight risk in part of the First Coast. We've got some rain consistent. The wettest week, 7-day period that we've had all year long. So we've certainly needed the rain. But what about our severe weather chances? So I've been kind of watching a few things, and I'm going to go over quickly just what I'm seeing. So I'm going to share my page here. I'm going to start with Storm Prediction Center. So yeah, you see there, Northeast Florida, Southeast Georgia now been updated and upgraded into that slight risk of getting some thunderstorms. It's kind of our First Coast News, our level for when we put out that weather impact alert. We've got a couple of parameters and kind of not getting too into the weeds, but we look at percentage of people who are going to see rain in a given day. And it doesn't have to be severe. It could just be rain, things that are going to complicate the day, make you change plans. So generally when we get 70% of us, especially around the most populated towns, we'll issue one of those weather impact alerts. And then we've got other multiple parameters that deal with tropics, that deal with winter weather. And of course, we're not thinking about that, but now we are thinking about severe weather. So when Storm Prediction Center puts really any part of Duval County in that slight risk, you know, that you start to pay keen attention, spidey sense goes off. So what are they looking at? So a few things. We're going to have that sea breeze again this afternoon. So much like we had Wednesday, sea breeze collision, we had the instability in the atmosphere, but today really kind of keying in on a couple of things. So I'm watching the CAPE level. So convective potential really is what CAPE measures, and getting your update here. So you can check this out too. If you go to Storm Prediction Center, just type in Google SPC meso analysis. They're going to give you a page that allows you to click different parts of the country and different regions, and you can zoom right on into the Southeast. So generally speaking, if you have a CAPE of 1,000 and above, you have the potential for getting some strong thunderstorms or even severe weather. And if you look kind of at the closely drawn lines here, and it gets a little convoluted, but I'll kind of put my arrow, if you can see, kind of draw down, see what we're getting in that 3,000, between the 3,000 level and 2,500. So consistently through the morning, we've had CAPEs in that 2,500 to 3,000 range right over Northeast Florida. CAPE essentially just measures a parcel of air on the ground. How easily will it lift into the atmosphere? How buoyant is that given parcel? And considering that we're going to have the sea breeze, sea breeze collision creates the uplift. You got convergence on the surface, and that lifts, and the air can't go down, so it goes up. And that's how you get the uplift in those big towering cumulus clouds that we see out there. So that's one ingredient. Then you look at something like lifted index, and it's kind of the reverse. So the negative number is a more powerful, more potent lifted index. Another measure of just how buoyant a parcel of air would be, how unstable the atmosphere would be. So we're getting into that like -5, -6, -4. I mean, you get a negative CAPE at all. So -1 to 2, you're talking about the potential for thunderstorms and then severe weather. And what we've got in the middle levels of our atmosphere, so at the surface, we've got really warm, humid air. We're about to have a sea breeze collision this afternoon. So you at the middle levels, though, you get much cooler air. I mean, just think about how that warm air gets caught up in the cooler air, and it just continues to lift. So just adding to that instability for that given parcel that's rising. So that could also give us a hail risk. When we're talking about severe weather, like we had some small hail reported with our storms yesterday. We just kind of continue that today. So looking at National Weather Service, they had typically just say we're going to watch out for the potential for some downbursts. So that would be strong gusty winds through our afternoon. Here's your GFS model. So the American model, I'm going to just kind of put into motion as we look through our afternoon. And this is a classic. So look over Northeast Florida, kind of ignore all those numbers, your highs, your lows, and focus in, on the precip, that would be the green. Now that's amount of precipitation accumulated over a set of hours before. And you can see that line going up and down essentially the 95 corridor, Highway 17. It just paints the picture of the hot, humid sea breeze collision. Moving ahead into our Friday, more potential for some showers. Again, we're in this period of time with a front essentially stationary over us that we get this focal point for some showers. Saturday, some strong storms possible again. And then we look into Sunday and Monday. And as I zoom ahead kind of into our Monday timeframe, notice our low. So see the L pop there, right at the Gulf Coast. So Louisiana, Alabama, the modeling has been zeroing in on this low ejecting out of the Gulf of Mexico for a while. That's going to drag even more moisture for us Monday and into Tuesday. So notice a more organized line. Your low begins to move into your Gulf states, Mississippi River Valley, and that drags even more rain. Now, ultimately, we're talking through Tuesday that we keep these rain chances. And by that point, I know we've wanted the rain. We've wanted plenty of it. By that point, I think we've had just about enough, even the potential for some flooding. And through this whole series of days, through 7 days, we're talking about getting, more than 5 inches or so of rain, even more potential in some isolated areas through this whole event. And so by Wednesday, I think we'll say, you know what, we're good. We're good on, and this low will actually drag a lot of this way. But so by Wednesday, things look to be drying out. So kind of your look at what we're seeing today, I would cue in that 2 p.m. to like 8 p.m. time frame for some showers and strong thunderstorm potential. We'll watch that for Thursday. So certainly have your First Coast News apps handy, and stay tuned into your local media, local news. Watch First Coast News. If any warnings were to pop, we'll share them with you. And I'll be sharing on my social media. You can check out @Lou Turner on Twitter and find me on Facebook @LewisTurnerFCN. And I will we'll be sharing there as well. Y'all have a great day and stay safe out there. We'll watch for some rain again.